up, everybody? What's going on, everybody? Good morning. What is up? How are you, people? Good to see you today. Good morning. Branon Dempsey here. WorshipTeamTraining.com, our morning show, coming at you on this fine Friday Eve. Happy Thursday to you. Hope you're having a great day and a great morning. It's great to have you on today with us. Again, I'm Branon Dempsey, WorshipTeamTraining.com. You're watching us live. Facebook Live and also Periscope dual broadcasting today. Hope you're doing great. Man, we got a lot to jump into, and it's great to have you this morning. How are you? Thanks for coming. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a fantastic morning. If you would, this is a perfect time right now to hit the share button on Facebook Live. Also, YouTube, if you're watching it on replay, welcome and thank you for coming back. Periscope, go ahead, slide over and share it out. If you're on Apple, swipe up and down. On Droid, let everybody know what's up. Share this broadcast out today, and thanks so much for that. Welcome, Clarence, our broadcast assistant, just throwing it down today, doing a fantastic job. How are you today, Clarence? Good, man. Glad you're well. And welcome, and thank you guys for coming. It is fantastic to have you today, and as always, we welcome you. If you are, maybe you watched the replay once, or maybe this is your first time, would you let us know if this is the first time to the broadcast for you? Man, it is so good to have you. Thank you for coming. Would you please do this? Would you please type in all caps, new, and the city or country of where you're from. We always love to know who we're broadcasting with and who we're in conversation with, as well as if you are already part of the family, then type in FAM. If you're on the Worship Team Train, then type in FAM as in FAM, so we know who's who, what's what. All right, so on Periscope, official Mike from New Monroe. How you doing today? Louisiana in the house. Great to see you. Erica Starr, how are you? Our very own family, Clarence from Los Angeles. And what about you, Facebook Live? What's up in your world? Who's coming in on the broadcast? Thanks so much for coming out with us today. We have some things to talk about, and so glad that you're here. Who am I? My name is Branon Dempsey of WorshipTeamTraining.com, and simply I'm the founder, CEO, training director, and anything else that God tells me to do. That's it. Simply, what we do at Worship Team Training, we go to your church and provide hands-on training for your musicians and vocalists, also audio tech. So if you want a one-day or a two-day event, we come right to your church, work with you on your own campus, saving you the hassle for travel and cost and everything else. We come to you. So why not learn in your own environment? You can check that out at worshipteamtraining.com/workshops. And also, if you're interested in just working maybe one-to-one, if you're a worship leader, pastor, musician, singer, audio tech, that's who these scopes, that's who these broadcasts are for anyway if you're watching. But if you find yourself in the need of that extra step of encouragement to help you crystallize the vision God's given you, then you want to check out our mentoring program as well. That's at worshipteamtraining.com/mentoring, where no, we don't give you a video. No, we don't give you a book. We give you a book and a real live person and maybe a video. That's where we come in. So we're here to walk with you all the way, not just this, here, read this, do that, and at the end of 3 months, then you get this prize. I mean, no, this is one-to-one, just like how you're receiving this right now. A lot of you guys come in these broadcasts, you watch the replay, you see what's up on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. All you guys are just great. And I really appreciate you guys coming in and doing this. So this is what it's about. So let's do this. Just to let you know also, when do we broadcast? It's Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, just like right now. And then also, we talk about the issues that you want to talk about. So would you let us know what they are for you? Look, if you have topics, issues, questions, thoughts, this is what the comment box window is for. Type it in. Let us know. what we can be speaking on, if you want to hear something to be addressed, or if you want to take part in today's conversation, please, by all means, let us know, and it would be fantastic to have you. And so let's go ahead and move on, because today we were talking about sing the message of God. We're talking about what can we do as worship team members, vocalists, worship leaders, in the vein of leading song and leading lyric. And what does that mean? So to jump into that, we want to talk about more than words, because more than what you realize, your actions, both on stage and off stage, make a huge difference to your church, even broader than that, to your community, even beyond that, to our Lord Himself. And so how are we walking in the way that rightly honors Him and that serves people? If you really get down to worship leading, that's what it's about. So glad that you're here as we can walk along in this path today. And a big shout out to all you guys coming in. Thanks so much for following us here. Facebook Live, Periscope, Twitter, everywhere else. Appreciate you guys. You rock. So today, if you want to get us on Twitter as well, I mentioned that already. To find the links, anything else that we do, hit us up at WorshipTT, and you can find out everything else that we provide, and events that we're going to go through in a second. You can find everything there at WorshipTT on Twitter, and also, of course, our main website, worshipteamtraining.com. That's really where you want to be. So check this out. If you're not following us on Snapchat, man, you're missing out on a lot of fun. We do some crazy things there. Make you laugh. We say some inspirational things, motivational things, thoughts, and it's just a pleasure to have you guys already. A great number of you guys are following our Snapchat stories, and which we create those throughout the whole day. And it revolves around the same topic of what we're bringing you right now. However, the things that we do share on Snapchat are not necessarily what we do on the broadcast. So we got a friend right here, baby Creekut, that's following us on Periscope, also on Snapchat. Thanks so much for that. Big shout out. Appreciate that. And so yes, we have a lot of fun with Snapchat. All you need to do is go, where can you get it? Well, great. Glad you asked. All you need to do is go to the App Store of your favorite device. If that is Droid, Apple, go to those stores and then download Snapchat and then add us, Worship TT. Worship TT. Anyway, free webinar. Wow, already. I mean, like, what's today, by the way? Today's the 14th. You have 2 weeks. 2 weeks. We have nearly 300 people that have signed up for this fantastic free event to talk about vocals. Laura Marriott, who regularly appears on our Periscope, she is also an instructor and mentor with us at Worship Team Training, a wonderful worship leader, great lady of God, woman of God, who leads it right from the heart. And man, she's got some fantastic things to say. And I love her approach, because she really speaks to the singer. And she teaches in such a way that everybody can understand. Not this high from the top of the mountain, you got to be like this kind of thing. No, I mean, she gives you the real deal, and she basically walks what she preaches. So you got to check that out. Where can you get the link? Right here, worshipteamtraining.com/events. And you can go to that page, find out more. Click on the registration button. Come on, this is free. This is a lot of fun. So do that and join all the rest of us on April the 26th at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right, so our workshops. I'm going to get more of that in a little bit later, because I shared already with you at the very top of this broadcast. And if you're tuning in, if you're clicking on the link right now and you're joining us on the broadcast feed, welcome again. I'm Branon Dempsey with worshipteamtraining.com. Visit us, check out our workshops and mentoring and what we can do for you. So yesterday we had an amazing time with Dan Spitz on our Hangout, and we also dual broadcasted that live as well on Facebook Live. So who was with us yesterday during that live feed? Because we had a lot of you guys come in, and it was just, to hear Dan's story was just amazing. It helped me really think twice about who's really watching us in this world in which we live. And what do I mean by that? Being a people of God, if we're leading worship, we need to do it from the heart, with a zero type of error, meaning that no, we're not supposed to be perfect, but we're serious about what we do because God is. So Clarence, what did you think about that? Clarence is from Periscope. Of course, he's our broadcast assistant. Clarence, tell us what you thought. Yeah, Dan is serious, is what he says. Absolutely. I mean, Dan was like, if you haven't seen that yet, awesome. Yes, love what he shared. It was fantastic. If you haven't seen it yet, all you need to do is go to worshipteamtraining.com and look up, it's 41316. Dan Spitz Hangout. It's also posted on YouTube. If you're watching through us right now on Facebook, just go a couple posts below and you'll see the ad and you'll see the video link for Dan Spitz. You can Google it and you'll find this with no problem. But yeah, it was just an amazing time just to hear how God has used his life in being in the dark places, and then now how God is using him as a bright light and going back to those darker places, carrying the gospel. And it's just an amazing thing that I think the one thing that stuck out to me was not to be cookie cutter, right? You guys remember that when he said that? Not to be cookie cutter, because there's 15 other bands that sound like Chris Tomlin, Matt Redman, Hillsong United, Bethel. I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of bands that model the sound, but I'll tell you, if you get Hillsong United, which is an awesome band, if you get with them, if you get with Bethel, if you get with Chris Tomlin or whatever, they will tell you too that no, you need to do what God's calling you in your own community. You need to have your own sound. They will be the first ones to tell you that. They're great people. And so I'm just kind of letting you in on a little bit of what was spoken yesterday and kind of the backdrop of where we were coming from when we were speaking on those topics, because I found it to be extremely important, because God's called you to be you. He hasn't called you to be like anybody else. And so I have a great respect for all of those bands and all of these churches, and a great respect for what Dan had to say regarding that. Be you, nobody else. God has called nobody else but to be you only. And Dan is a living example of that. This guy, wow. So I'll tell you, I don't want to tell you any more about it. Just accept that I'm, in hearing his testimony for the first time brought me to tears. And the way God's using him through his talents of music, watchmaking, the guy works on watches, and also autism awareness, which is huge. And then on top of all that, he's a master musician. And this guy, I can't tell you anymore. You gotta watch it. Just find us on YouTube, Worship Team Training, or also you can find it at worshipteamtraining.com. That's right, Clarence. Yes, he's a watchmaker. He's been that way for years. Just amazing. He did a documentary on CNN just not too long ago. But it was a pleasure having him, and his respect for us is humbling. So because he mentioned he doesn't really go on these kind of interviews, so it was really a prime opportunity, and I'm humbled to have you, Dan. So thank you. Just big shout out and big love, man. Awesome. All right, so let's move on. More than words. That's what we're talking about today. Have you found yourself? Let's go right there. Okay, have you found yourself in a situation where the vocalists in your church are maybe just walking all over each other? Maybe you have a worship leader that doesn't mean what they sing. You thought about that? Here's another question. Do you mean the words that you sing, and do you live them? That seems to me, at least, I don't know about you, but that seems to be a bigger question instead of just, did you memorize the song? I mean, memorization is not hard. It's the living. Matt Redman said that, and if I can get his quote right, the proof isn't in the singing, it's in the living. Again, the proof isn't in the singing, it's in the living. That's what Matt Redman said. that stuck with me for so long, because it's right. It's like, are you really into the Word of God? Are you stepping out and living those words to the people that are in your church and in your community? And how are you leading them? That just blows me away, because I mean, we could be singing a song one way, but on the other way, it can sound like something else. So let's get right to it. Impatience walks over the church, but patience lets God sing through the church. There's a difference. The question is, where are you overstepping? Now, if you want to get to this article that I have right in front of me, all you need to do is go to worshipteamtraining.com/more-than-words, or just go to worshipteamtraining.com and find this matching article, More Than Words. Just click on it. It's at the very top. So thanks for that, Clarence. Hit us up in Periscope. And again, as we're going through this broadcast, please feel free to type in your comments, because you never know what encouragement you may be giving to anybody else. And also, no, I didn't forget. If you like what you hear today, you're watching us by Periscope, then tap on the Worship Leader glasses and the Worship Leader hair. And if you also are watching us by Facebook Live, you can send a heart through right there to the Worship Leader hair. Worship Leader hair today, always having a good day. Always. He got fixed up. He, slept well in his little Worship Leader pillowcase, head case. Everything's good. We don't want to rock that, because if we start giving him too much, light, it's going to be a problem. Okay, let's move on. You didn't tune in. I keep saying that. You didn't click on the link for this. Head case, yeah. Where do you find? Oh, yeah, a Worship Leader store. That's where you find it. worshipleaderstore.com. Tap the hair. That's what I said. So, and the cup too. Yeah, people on Periscope are asking me for the cup. This right here. This is called my Jesus cup. No, it doesn't mean that Jesus would choose a cup like this. It just reminds me of Jesus. That's all. So, and the coffee's cold. Okay. This is why you come prepared, my friends. Okay, too good. Yeah, another good cup, right? Okay, good. So, hey, it's all about being prepared, right? You got to have a plan A and a plan C. Okay, so here's the deal. We're going to be talking about singing and making it clear and making it livable. All right? I shared some of this already this past week, and we're talking more and more about it. So there's 3 points I want to make, okay? The first point is knowing your voice, okay? If we were talking about, how to make our word, like, what's more than the words that we sing, okay? Number one, what I think it comes down to, the first point, this is just my opinion, is knowing your voice. It's not a competition, singers. I have a fantastic group of singers at my church, and I'm telling you, they can sing the words off the pages of the phone book. They're that good, okay? The only problem is that sometimes they start trying to out-sing one another, and hold on a second. All right, let's take this down about 5 notches, okay? Versus having a team that maybe doesn't sing out as well. These guys and ladies do, and they're just incredible. I mean, the women, I've never heard such strong vocalists in a team before. It's just that, seriously, it's like this is the best problem for any worship pastor or leader to have, is to actually turn around and say, hey, can you bring down the volume a little bit? Because you'd be saying that to the drummer or somebody else, the musician in the band, right? But I'm having to tame the singers here, because they're just, they're like thoroughbreds, man. And I think women are the best. They're smarter. Sorry, but they are. They're sharp. At least the women of our team, they know what's going on, and I love it. So this is why I say all of the things that I do on Periscope, because I'm taking everything from what I learned in my experience and even at our church and putting it here for you, because look, we're all in this thing together, okay? So here we go. Yes, guys are smart too. Come on, get over it, all right? So, but we're here to support the ladies of the church, right? All the female and women worship leaders, absolutely. There's a lot of them, and half of them are on half of our staff are female anyway. So there you go. All right, so let's get right to it. What do I mean by knowing your voice? Basically, many singers like to compete for the musical space, or they don't use it enough. Okay, so for me, what's important is I like to find out, number one, how great is your voice, how well can it work together. By the way, thanks for the hearts, you guys, on Periscope. Thank you for that. And also thank you for commenting Facebook Live and liking and watching the broadcast. Really appreciate y'all. Thank you. So, knowing your part is huge. It's almost like, if you can think of competing for the same space, let's say, it's like if you were in a crowded room in this article post, but think about an elevator, okay? And I feel like sometimes bands, we do the same thing. We're jam-packed together in this tight, small space, and everyone's trying to outdo each other, but you can't hear what you're doing versus the other person. And so I think that's what the church goes through, and especially also our sound engineers. And we had a great, by the way, thank you, Ron, the sound guy, and a few others too that commented on the show that we talked about on, was it Tuesday? We did a sound engineer show. We're going to do that part 2, by the way. All right, we're going to do a part 2 because we got a huge response. I shared it on one of the audio sites on Facebook, and they loved it. So. And they were already asking for resources. So yes, we'll do it again next week. Kelly, if you're watching, Kelly's our awesome content media manager for worshipteamtraining.com, doing a fantastic job throwing it down. So thank you for that. Michael, Neil, and also waiting for Hal to come on. So Hal, I know you're watching. So praying with you, man. All right, so let's move on, shall we? Here's the deal. Practice truly does help you improve those imperfections and knowing your voice. I think the biggest mistake that I've seen singers make is one simple thing. They don't know their voice. We try so hard to sound and sing like somebody else that you really don't know who you are as a vocalist. It's just like the same thing as being a musician. It's great to have influences. It's great to say, yeah. By the way, opening theme music, Alicia Keys, love her stuff. Okay, talk about like one of the most amazing female music arrangers and singers. She blows my mind every time. I picked the theme music because I love the way her voice just cuts through. I mean, yes, a lot of it is in the mixing in the studio, but when you see her sing live, I mean, she sings out, but she sings out in a very controlled way. She knows how to work the mic. She knows how to adjust her dynamic. And that's the whole point, because she knows who she is as a singer. And I think if she was watching this right now, she would agree. Simply it's spending time with your voice. And I've said this before on other broadcasts. Some people didn't like this idea. That's okay. But I say record your voice when you practice. Record your voice or voices during the rehearsal, because you would be amazed. I know, I get it. Some of you don't like the sound of your voice. Well, but what are you going to do about it? Are you just going to keep letting that be a barrier to you? Because if it is, it's going to be a barrier to somebody else. So that's how I look at it. I'm always wanting to improve what I do. I mean, look, I can't show you my phone because Facebook Live is taking it up right now. Claire says, exactly, you must familiarize yourself with the sound of your voice. Ron, the sound guy, says, during practice we use solo voices while recording, then play them back. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I think it's good for us to take that step back. Be objective. I know it's hard. Rianetta Sanwan says, yeah, wonderful advice. I said the same to my vocal students. Oh, thank you for that. Thank you. Rianetta is one of our friends down in Veracruz, Mexico, with our awesome translator. His name is Oscar Areno, and he does all of our translations for Bible.com devotionals that we have out. So, by the way, if you haven't done that, go to Bible.com, download YouVersion app, and seek out Worship Team Training and get the devotionals. So once you're comfortable hearing yourself, You start to learn to develop your skill. Is what Sean says. He's an audio engineer. Another audio engineer says on Periscope, also ask for a copy of the praise and worship after every service and listen to how it sounds. I think that's gold. The more and more, yeah, great form, you guys. Thank you. The more and more that you can hear yourself, like, look, I mean, okay, let me just tell you from experience. If you think I'm wrong, check this out. I give you these broadcasts every day, like, well, Monday through Friday, but Clarence, how long have we been doing this now? We've been doing this now since, what, November? Is that right? Since November. Like, Monday through Friday, okay? And let me just tell you, was I scared at first? You bet. I mean, even sometimes before I hit the start button or whatever, you know? And so, yeah, I mean, if you go back to our site at worshipteamtraining.com, we have, like, what, over 500 articles that Kelly has done for us. Thank you, Kelly. And probably like another matching 250 videos so far. Yeah, Sean says speakers record themselves and good pastors record themselves too and critique themselves. Thanks, Clarence. Shout out for the articles. You're awesome, dude. I'll tell you that I'm more and more comfortable speaking in front of a camera even more than I was a year ago. Why? Because I'm practicing this. Like when I'm speaking with you, I'm not trying to, be professional and sound like the 10 o'clock news or some big, speaker presenter that you would see at a large conference. I'm just being me. That's it. I'm trying to do the best I can with Clarence. He said he thought I was a natural. Well, newsflash. No, I've just gotten more comfortable with engaging you in conversation. And I think that when we sing and we play instruments, it's the same thing. It's just being comfortable with the people that you are leading. And the more and more, you guys are great at Periscope, the more and more that you're comfortable with who you are as a singer, the more and more comfortable you will be at singing. And especially if you're recording yourself. And so that's why, again, I go back to the example. You can ask my video producers. We shot a bunch of stuff, I remember, some time ago, and one of our producers and unit managers even said to me, Branon, this is the 10th take now, get it right, and I was like, well, okay, because I was so nervous. But now, after I've been doing this every day, I just realized, look, all I have to do is just be me. I don't have to be anybody else beyond that. I just be me and just speak what I know. And if I don't know something, don't speak it. So the same thing in singing, the same thing with pastoring, preaching, doing music, doing art, doing video. You have to do what's within your own talent capability, but you also have to be pushing that envelope and getting better and better and better every time. And that's why I love coming to you with these broadcasts, because I feel like we together as a team get better and better and better every step of the way of what we do in being servants of God in our worship ministries, right? That's what it's about. So that's why I say practice truly does make improvement. And I really believe that when you start, hearing the details of your voice when you sing, the more and more that you listen to it, the more and more you become better familiar with it, and you're also easier to correct those mistakes. Especially like I've had drummers record themselves. And, sometimes it's kind of like, palm face, right? But when they're listening back to the recording, they're realizing how off-tempo they were from the click. That's okay. This is all about improvement. I mean, you do this every day when you stare in the mirror and you make yourself up and everything, and, you don't look all snaggly and everything when you just get out of bed and just go to work that way. I mean, you take time to do what you need to do in front of the mirror. Well, it's the same thing with the recording. You got to take time to do what you want to do in front of that audio mirror so that you can hear and see and fix things correctly. So that's all it is. Developing that awareness, that's the whole key. It will contribute to the team in a big, big way. Yeah, it's it's a lot easier. Piano Mom says it's a lot easier when they correct themselves, right? It's a lot easier. So because you got something recording, you can hear it. You can be like, okay, on that one syllable, that wasn't right, or maybe that wasn't the right tone on that word. Those are the things that I look for. Let me just tell you that when I record my voice and I'm listening to my breath, my phrasing of the whole line that I'm singing. I'm thinking about the control, the dynamic. I'm also thinking about the tone of each word and how I sing that word correctly to the tone that I want to make. Now, I know that may be a little bit too advanced or critical, but those are, I've been doing this for a long time. That's what I'm doing right there. Yeah, Clarence says, when he first bought Pro Tools, he learned how to record his vocals himself. Right, but we have a lot of singers that don't know what Pro Tools is, but you got a phone, and you can start recording that way, so... look around you. With all the technology that we have today, there's no more excuses of, well, I can't do that. Yeah, you can. You can find some way to do it. If you want to be great, you'll go to great lengths to make it happen. Period. All right, so let's move. Can you hear that? Did that come easy? No. She had to work to get there. And you think Alicia Keys just, recorded 3 times, oh, I don't like my voice, and then she leaves it alone, and now she's like some superstar? No. She works. She works every stinking note. All right, so let's move on. So when you practice, make good choices. As you're practicing, as you listen back to the tape and everything, listen to the control. Listen to better how you can open up your voice, relax more, those kind of things. But you got to learn how to harness the power wisely. That's what I say. A lot of people, like on your Mac, you have GarageBand, or some kind of recording mechanism on your phone. So it's easy. Here's the second point. Knowing the space. Knowing the space. What do I mean by that? What you're doing in the spaces of the melody within the song makes all the difference. If you listen to what Alicia's doing right now, except that part. Okay, very simply from that example, she's going off, but she's taking her time. She's taken her time in the music. I think that she sings effortlessly, right? But because she's taking her time. I think as a vocal team, we're so quick to rush into the words. It's like we're so worried about singing every single note. It's like, I put this in the analogy of a lead guitar player. You don't want to have a lead guitar player blazing and just every single note all throughout the song, every time, every minute, every moment. Sorry, Dan, I didn't mean it that way. But what I'm getting at is that even, Dan, guitar player, would understand that you want to create space. The same thing happens in the vocal. It's got to be there because you're allowing more space and more melody to take root in the song. And the more and more that you can make it effortless, the more and more that you can breathe more space in it, then it helps the entire team. It shapes the whole entire sound. It creates a new song, if you will. And at the same time, you're more relaxed. Look, I know a lot of us, when we lead worship, it happens to me too. Sometimes when you start the first or second song, it's almost like, you're breathing so fast, you kind of get out of breath for a moment, or you find yourself, you're trying to be on point every single time. And what's been occurring to me more and more is just relax. I've done my practice, my homework at home, whatever. We've had rehearsal. I just need to relax and do the song, just as I'm relaxed right now, just speaking to you. And just sing the song, and don't be worried about the note that you're going to miss or whatever, because mentally that trips you up. If you're so worried about that, you will make mistakes. If you think you're going to make a mistake, you will make a mistake. That's what my vocal teachers have always taught me. So they've taught me how to sing through the mistake. And it's a different kind of concept, but if you sing through the mistake and fix it, It's not a big deal. But it does take a lot of work and a lot of practice. So anyway, you want to think like, I was working with a worship leader the other day in song arranging in our mentoring program, and I was explaining to him that the process of song, it's the same way how we sing a song. We don't want to start the song all the way out here vocally, okay? As high as we can go, loud as we can go, full dynamic, everything. No. It's more like when we start a good song, you want to take that beginning portion and come into the room of the house here, if you will. And then build up the dynamic as it goes to verse 1. And then on the pre-chorus and chorus, then you raise it up a bit. Verse 2, you're here maybe. And then second chorus, then you're up. The bridge may be up or it may be down. But everything has to have this kind of shape and contour to it, because that's what makes great music. It's about storytelling. I mentioned that before. Now, I mean, I don't have my guitar ready. I could have done that, but maybe on another scope, broadcast, I'll come back and I'll do some more music for you, like as an example kind of thing. I don't know if you want that or not. If you did want that, let me just ask you guys, because it's been a while. I'm just asking, sorry, I know I'm taking up precious time. Would you like something on, I'm just asking live viewers right now, would you like something on piano or guitar? If you had me come back to do a music broadcast, teaching moment, do you want piano, type in 1, or do you want guitar? You want both? Okay, I guess I can do that. I don't know about it at the same time, but it'd be kind of like key guitar. Both? Everybody's saying both. Why are y'all saying both? All right, I love you guys. Thanks for that. All right, so everyone's saying both. You have 2 hands, use them. All right. You can do all things through Christ. Thanks, Leon. That's hilarious. All right, good. All right, I'll do both. Come back and do it just for you because you guys asked. So I'll give you the heads up on that. All right, so here's the third part. Okay, third part. Know the song. That's the last point. Know the song. If you're trying to create room for the song, you want to know your voice in the song, you have to know the song. And I don't, look, here, I've said this before, even, we've been singing these songs, the same songs in the church now for what, 5, 10, 15, 30 years, and you still have trouble with it? I don't think you have trouble with it because you don't know it. I think that, oh, Letty, you're awesome. She said this on Periscope. Unfamiliarity breeds franticness. That's so true. We can still be singing the same song for 15 years, but we're unfamiliar with it. Please prepare. Words always trip us up. When we're always going to, we forget a word. It happens to me, and it's okay. But know the song. Spend time with the song. Laura, I think it was Laura Marriott who's going to be giving us the free webinar on the 26th at 1 p.m. Again, go to worshipteentraining.com/events. And I remember her saying, you want to live with the song. I love what she said. You want to live with the song. What does that mean? Put that song on a playlist. And play it throughout the time of, look, if you're a stay-at-home mom or dad, play it when you're washing dishes. Play it when you're at the gym in the homework. Wow, people are like on Periscope's blowing up. You guys are crazy. Wow. I mean, do you guys love that Facebook Live? Because, Periscope's going off, man. They just love what was just said. Playlist. Live with the song. Dream on the song. Oh, my goodness. Wow, Rianetta, thank you. Muchas gracias. Wow. She said, dream the song. That I've never heard. That's the word of the day. Will you guys hashtag that? Hashtag dream the song. Man, that's good. Sean keeps saying marinate on the song. We got this little competition going now. Funny. Yeah, I love that. Dream the song. There you go, Leon. Thanks for that. Now put that on Twitter, okay? You guys hashtag it on Twitter. Dream the song. Know the song. Live with it. What I was saying about Laura, what she was doing is that Laura said, put it on play everywhere you go. I mean, when you're in your car, if you're on a bus, if you're at work, wherever, and just live with the song. And before you know it, you're actually, I find myself doing this. I pray the lyrics of certain songs that may be going on in my heart throughout my day. You know, like if I'm in my head, I'm singing From the Rooftops or Mighty to Save, and you know, and it's just a great reminder. That's what songs, good songs, should do, is greatly remind you of God's Word and God's work, what He's doing within your church and your life and the world. I mean, wow, what could be better than that? So I say, you know, it's more than memorization. It's spending time with the song, praying the lyrics. Yes, Charisse, on Periscope, my awesome favorite worship leader. Thank you. And but the more and more that you do that, I mean, 80% of the song, that's the battle right there. The battle is knowing 80%. It's the 80% of the song is knowing it, you know. So yeah, the singing part is easy when you think about it. I mean, a lot of it is just all up here. A lot of it is confidence, and a lot of it is like the mental barriers that we may put up. So that's why I say know the song that you're playing. Know the song that you're singing. Spend time with it. You know, the song lyrics serve as prayers for people, and so the more and more that you are into the song, the lyrics of the songs, the message of the song is a prayer line for the people. I mean, how often do you pray the words that you sing? I mean, wow, that's a thought. How often do you pray the words that you sing? And do you sing the words that you pray? I love, like, one night our 5-year-old was kind of getting loud, and it was past his bedtime, and I'm thinking, what's going on? And so we're trying to, like, my wife and I are trying to have dessert, you know, and we hear this loud going on, and I'm like, you know, I walk back there, I'm like, son, what are you doing? And he's like jumping off his bed and everything, and he's like, I'm singing to Jesus. And I was like, wow. And he was, because he kept on singing after I told him, okay, that's great, but go to bed. And he's laying in his bed, and he's just still singing under his covers, and I was like, wow. I mean, you talk about learning from the mouths of babes, right? I mean, that's it. I'm so proud of our children, and I think that's a perfect analogy. Perfect analogy of the way that we liken ourselves as children of God. That's why Jesus said to come to Him as such, right? So let's recap real quick the 3 points that I covered, okay? The 3 points I covered on know the words. Point number 1 is knowing your voice, okay? Knowing your voice, getting to know the mechanics, practicing, studying your voice. Number 2, knowing the space. So that's knowing the space of the song, knowing the space of the breath, knowing what the other instruments and singers are doing, staying out of the way, blending. I didn't really talk too much about that, but that's what comes to mind as I'm saying it. Number 3, sorry about that. Number 3, know the song. Knowing the song. And again, let that song and let those lyrics become the prayer line of your people. So what else? I mean, we're right now at the top. We're at the end of the broadcast now. So let us know what's on your mind. What questions do you have? I did a lot of talking here. Periscope had a lot of interaction. Thanks for you guys. Facebook Live, what about you? You guys watch this by replay right now or by computer, YouTube. Let us know what's up. All right, so Piano Mom asked this, what if you don't like the song and the church loves it? That's a great question. Well, let me just ask you, who is it more important to? You asked it, I gave it, okay? So even if you don't like the song, okay, like there's a lot of songs that I don't like. And sometimes the worship team is like, but Brandon, and they call me Pastor Brandon, but can we do this song? And I'm like, Yeah, sure. It's like, okay, it's like, what, 5-7 minutes? It's not a big deal. I mean, if you don't like the song, but it's not about what we like as leaders. I mean, if the church is really moved by it, then I try to find something in it to like about it. Because if I'm up there leading and I don't like the song, it's going to come across, okay? So make sure that, you're not just kind of doing this or, playing your piano, singing it because you don't like it. No, I mean, find something in it that, again, this is what I've said before. The whole meaning of spirit and in truth, right? What Jesus said. Is it of the Spirit of God, the Spirit of Christ, and is it of the truth of His Word? If it is those two things, then I can worship in spirit and in truth. And I can do that with any song. So I don't want to name any songs right now because we work with a lot of publishers, and a little acting can be okay, yeah. Can you sing? Ron, the sound guy, just asked me if I can sing As a Deer at least one more time. Well, the deer kind of left about 30 years ago from the water, so ain't going back to that water anymore for a reason. Okay, so anyway, love you guys. This is great. One more time from the top, As the Deer. Sing that again. People are like, what's a deer? What? Huh? What's that? Okay. So, all right, we're at the very end of the broadcast. I want to thank you guys for coming out today. Look, if you haven't already checked us out and our workshops, please do that. We serve your church to come to you instead of you going to a larger conference, which may be awesome and cool. I love doing that myself, but I also know there's nothing like learning in my own environment. There's nothing like learning among my team with just one teacher. Remember that when you're going through school or maybe sports, and there was that source of encouragement, that person that really spoke into you, that just championed you, just came alongside you, said, yeah, that's it, come on, you can do this, this is great, keep going. Where is that person in your life right now? We want to join you on that journey. If it's us doing a workshop at your church for a 1 or 2 day event, hey, awesome. If it's doing a mentoring program that we have, awesome. One-to-one, you got it. Just go to worshipteamtraining.com/workshops or /mentoring, and you'll find all the good stuff of what we can do with God's help to empower your team. That's why we're called Worship Team Training. That's why we're called Worship Team Training, because we believe in you and your team. So you guys are fantastic. Thanks so much for coming out today. Yes, I will come back soon. I'm meeting with a bunch of worship leaders today, so I'm not sure what the rest of the day looks like, but I want to come back because let's do this, the piano and guitar, quick little song, voice lesson kind of deal. We can do that. So let's do that, please. Do that for me. And let's do this tomorrow. Tomorrow we have you again at Friday, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And we have our next devotional posting and broadcast ready for you, ready to go. So my hat's off to you. Love you guys. Rick, love you. I'm sorry that you're coming in at the last minute. We got to go. Love you, Jermaine. Thanks so much. All you guys on Facebook Live and Periscope, YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat. Again, be sure to follow us there. Just add us. Worship TT. Rick Costa, you better be adding me. I think you added me. I want to make sure that you're adding me. Phil Harvest, thanks for that on Periscope. You guys, Victoria, Mangano, and Sujith, thank you so much for you guys joining us on Facebook Live. Love y'all. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you guys very, very soon on the next broadcast, either later today. Come on, Rick, add me, dude. Let's go. Snapchat, come on. And if it's not later today, I'll come back at you. I'll come back at you later on tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. So be sure right now, if you're joining us on Facebook, on Periscope, please slide over and hit the follow button on Worship TT. Yes, Rick, that's why it's up there in the back screen. Follow us at Worship TT. If you're watching us right now on Facebook Live, please hit the like button on Facebook, on our Facebook page. Go to Worship Team Training on Facebook. And so thank you guys so much for coming. We love you guys. We'll see you back very soon on the next broadcast. I'll give you the heads up. Don't worry about it. Love you guys so much. Have an awesome day. Yes, talk to you guys later. And in the Lord. And we'll have fun next time. Love you guys. Bye.